Hey, it's Tiffany. So, a lot of things happening. A lot of stuff just kind of crossing my mind this morning. And I just finished a double workout, feeling amazing. But at the same time, today was the day that our family, we reviewed the budget. We know what we're paying, right? We do our financial piece stuff. And then I got an email from our health insurance company that said, hey, it's time for your annual assessment. And it's time for you to do your annual evaluation, come in and do your blood work. And that being said, the insurance company wants you to come in and have a standard CBC, blood pressure. I think they'll run a vitamin D test. And then they want you to fill out this assessment that says, how much vegetables do you eat? How many grains do you eat, right? The food pyramid stuff. How much do you exercise? How much do you drink? Do you smoke? Da-da-da-da-da. And based on everybody doing that, they calculate the insurance fees. Hello. They want your information so they can analytically calculate how much they should be charging you for your health insurance. And at the same time, they promise to discount you $500, give or take, right, off your premiums for the next annual year. Sounds like a great idea. Go in to do it. Had me very I was like, oh my goodness. And I, being me with celiac disease, there's no option to select celiac disease from the conditions that they have in there. There is lupus, IBS, all this other stuff. But there's no option to select celiac. There's an other box, so I put in celiac disease. Then I move on to the nutritional segment, and it says, how much are you eating? And it gets the grain part. And I'm like, I need to score 0, so we have great health insurance, but I still need to have my integrity and my honesty. Hey, Karen. So it says, how much grain do you eat? And I wanted to check that never box, but I was like, okay, I honestly do eat grain on Fridays. I eat a little bit of quinoa once in a while. So I checked the 1 to 2 servings a week box. And then I checked the veggies, 5+ servings, saturated fats. I eat, honestly, a lot of saturated fat. I eat avocados. I eat a lot of nuts. I eat a lot of that stuff. And healthy fats, not fried foods, not corn oil or anything like that. So I checked the 2 to 3 servings a week box, which is borderline integrity because I probably eat a lot more fat than that. But the assessment did its thing. It asked for your waist circumference. It asked for your height. It asked for your weight. And then it comes out and it says that I'm flagged in 2 areas for risk. And I went and I was laughing and I'm like, oh my goodness, Will, you're not going to believe this. The health insurance company is still behind. It makes sense. A lot of people are. And so it flagged me for being at risk because I'm not eating grain, but it didn't take into account that I have a disease that I can't eat grain. And then it also didn't take into account the stuff from the new research that's coming out of Cleveland Clinic, that's coming out of everywhere, right? Cleveland Clinic, Mayo seeing the same stuff, Dr. Walls, Dr. Tom O'Brien, Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. William Davis, Dr. Lundell just also released new research, new studies that said grain is bad for you. So the insurance company didn't take any of that new stuff into consideration. They went with the old standard food pyramid, which is horrible. And so it flagged me for at risk for not eating grains, and then it flagged me for being at risk because I haven't had a flu vaccination. Well, I have an egg allergy. I can't get a flu vaccination, so it's kind of funny that it triggered me on both those. But so I want to show, this is came out May 9th, brand new book. It's called Undoctored. And for those people that keep going to the doctor, I actually talked to one of these women that I would recommended this book to in Phoenix 2 weeks ago. She said, every time I go to the doctor, they look at me like I'm crazy. They've asked me if I'm seeing a shrink, and they just keep thinking I'm nuts. And I'm like, you're not nuts. I was told the same thing. I was seeing a shrink, and the shrink wasn't helping with everything else going on in my body. So that being said, Undoctored actually says sometimes you need to go and do your own blood work. You need to order some of your own tests on demand or work with an integrated functional doctor or a functional medicine doctor to look at the whole picture, to look at all of the components, not just one little element, right? So I'll read you a couple of excerpts that I've highlighted in this book, but you can get this on Amazon. It's Dr. William Davis's book, Undoctored. It's quite amazing, and I flagged a couple of things I was going to let you guys in on today. So he opens up, and he is very honest about everything. He's been a heart surgeon. He's been paid by pharmaceutical companies to do bypass surgeries. He actually says in here that he would be incentivized or given a bonus if he could turn a triple bypass into a quadruple bypass or a 5 bypass surgery all at one time, and they'd give him more money, and the hospital wanted him to do additional bypasses. And so he says that during 2014, so that's like 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago. As a country, the United States, we spent a total of $3 trillion nationally on health care. That's over $9,000 per person on health. Now, think about that for a minute. How many people are in your family? We have 5 people in our family. 5 people, $9,000 is $45,000. That is college tuition for 1 year of very high-end private school. That is, for a lot of people, how much a whole car would cost. You could have bought a car outright and not had car payments, right? What could you do with $9,000 per person in your family instead of going down this whole route? So, first of all, that's what he says. And then he says, accounting for 17.5% of our gross domestic product. Now, 17.5%. Now, when you compare that to other countries in the world that have matching healthcare systems, right, to the U.S. So we're looking at Europe, Canada, places that have a matching healthcare system, not third world, but first world countries. They only spend on average 10 to 12% of their gross national product. That is crazy. Hey, Tony. So when I look at it financially, I look at it like, oh my goodness, we could do so much more with $45,000 for our family, right? We could do so much more with being healthy, right? Okay, there's a couple of other sections that I'm going to read out of here. So in 2009 alone, the Institute of Medicine reported, and you can go find these statistics online, that unnecessary medical services, so things that people didn't need but they were prescribed anyway or they were done anyway, as a country we spent $209 billion. Billion with a B, 209, unnecessary treatment. And $75 billion was lost to fraud in medical, which is ridiculous in its own way. So, part of that is from inefficiencies, inflated pricing, and excess administrative cost within the medical industry, and dishonesty. Ordering tests people don't need, prescribing medicine they don't need, just because you need a bonus as a doctor. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, but it's the truth. It's the facts. He actually has in the back of this book all of the where he got the facts, all of the documentation. You can go pull it. You can look at it. All right. So what I want you to know, though, is, and this is what I work with a lot of my clients on, the power is within your own body. And he goes through this, the same stuff that Dr. William Davis does. Excuse me. Is very similar to my own protocol that I work with my clients on, right? I work with people with autoimmune disease, with chronic illness, with things that need to be resolved, not just people that want to lose weight. Now, I have had some people that want to lose weight, and I have had an anorexic patient, which had great results. But in the long term, I look for the people that have these diagnoses so we can start saving you part of that $9,000, honestly. What could you, you go on vacation. You could save money. You could retire early. I don't know. The options are endless. So part of it says, the power you hold reaches far and wide into multiple aspects of you and your family's health. Cholesterol can be reduced without medication. Absolutely true. Blood pressure controlled, pre-diabetic blood sugar squelched, and just as I and thousands of others, meaning Dr. Davis, you can shed 30 pounds in a few weeks, since the excess weight is a reflection of the disordered health of your body. Crafting a program to prevent and reverse osmosis, amplify your energy, and using self-directed resources within your own reach that you already have. Like you can pre-order your own blood work now. You can get all of this stuff through different things. And there's whole websites based on crowdsourced medical research, crowdsourced help and healing. Doctors, Dr. Davis actually has a whole site where you can go on, post your stuff, and get feedback. It's amazing. So did you ever really think about that? Did you ever think that if you are somebody with pre-diabetic that you really don't need your metformin? That maybe what you really need to do is stop eating grain and eat more fat? Did you ever think that if you were somebody with a thyroid issue that if you stopped eating the grain and the processed sugar and ate more fat and more green food and didn't actually cut out the spinach like they tell you to do, that the thyroid would resolve itself? Did you know that your pancreas can regenerate and reactivate itself, and you can go off of all of those insulin medications if you're type 2? You can actually do that in less than 6 months. if you're somebody that has high cholesterol, total cholesterol is not always a bad thing. Now, within the cholesterol, you need to have a particular test to have a microscopic magnetic reading to look at the cholesterol sizing. If your cholesterol is high in small particles, problem. If your cholesterol is high in large particles, not an issue. You don't need to be on statins or other cholesterol meds. If it is small particles, you need to go on a protocol right away to reverse that, because that will cause you to have a stroke and it will cause artery clogging. But you can reverse the small particles in less than 6 weeks. Max, it's going to take you 4 months and your cholesterol will be under control. Karen can speak to that, who's on the video. Miss Evelyn can tell you that by fixing your diet first and getting some exercise, she got off all her insulin medication. She lost 60 pounds and was able to have back surgery that she wouldn't be able to have otherwise. These are women that I help all day long. These are women that are in my group. These are stories that we see happen and come to fruition, and they're true testaments to what the body can do and the body can heal. So he says, after urging people with diabetes to cut the fat and cholesterol, including telling everybody to increase grains and go ahead and eat all the sugar you want, in 2004, this was an ADA statement from the association. Oh my goodness. ADA is the American Association. Oh, what does the A stand for? I'm sorry. My brain had a fart. Anyway, we'll go on. So in 2004, they said, cut out the fat, cut your cholesterol, eat more grain, eat more sugar. They found out, after all, the organization proudly displayed its mission. Oh, it's the American Diabetes Association, ADA. Hello. To prevent and cure diabetes, to improve the lives of all people affected by diabetes. That's their mission. But in reality, they told people to eat more grain, eat more sugar, and cut the fat and the cholesterol out of their diet. They found out that that was wrong. They actually admitted they were wrong and invited a legal liability of this huge scale, loss of credibility, and drop in revenue, particularly from generous pharmaceutical companies, because they had to change that statement in 2013. Their revised statement said, despite the inconclusive results of the studies evaluating the effects of differing percentages of carbohydrates in people with diabetes, monitoring carbohydrate amounts is a useful strategy for improving glucose control. Evidence exists that both the quantity and type of carbohydrate in the food influences blood glucose level, and total amounts of carbohydrate eaten is the primary predictor of glycemic response. Not fat. Sorry. Not grain. Grain's not going to improve it. But cutting out the fat is not going to change your sugar levels either. You've got to actually watch your carbs, so no more grain. You got to watch your sugar, right? And sugar meaning apples, bananas, things that have carbs but also have sugar, right? And no more white sugar, no more processed sugar. This book is so eye-opening. I could spend all day talking about it, but I want to go back to the fact that sometimes when you're doing a health assessment and sometimes when you go to see your general practitioner, they tell you things based on old research. And it's okay to question your doctor. It's okay to say, hey, I need a second opinion. It's okay to hire a functional medicine doctor on the side to back up what your regular doctor's saying. And it's okay sometimes to say, you're fired. I'm finding a new doctor that keeps up on studies. I get that they're busy. I get that they get bonuses from Abbott and all these other pharmaceutical companies. But sometimes putting you on medication is the worst thing that can happen. Sometimes the only thing you really need to do is go back to nature, go back to eating healthy, using some essential oils, using some exercise, drinking a lot of water, and getting your minerals that you need for your body to stay healthy. And it's that simple. And whatever disease and chronic illness you've been diagnosed with will go away. So, a lot of crazy stuff today. That's just what happened in my life this morning. It was very eye-opening when I did do my health assessment, and it said that I was high risk because I didn't eat grain. Oh my goodness. So it made me think that, Blue Cross and Blue Shield need to update their little health assessment, because for somebody that has certain diseases, they don't want to be eating grain. For most of us, we don't want to be eating grain. If you're somebody that's looking for help with your health, or you're somebody that's like, hey, I need more information, book Tony. I know it's going to be backwards, but it's called Undoctored, William Davis. I got it on Amazon. It's at Barnes & Noble as well. It's got recipes in here. I haven't tried them yet, but he's got a ton of recipes. He's got it broken out into like a protocol, what you do each week, 1 through 6. It is truly amazing. And you can read it like a newspaper. You can like turn to sections you want to read. You don't have to read it straight through. But if you're somebody that honestly needs help, call me. Let's do a consult. I'll do 35 minutes free. I'll look at your blood work with you. I'll put it on the matrix so you can actually see your results and where they should be for your body type. And then we can decide if there's resources or suggestions that can help you, right? I would love to help you get to where you want to be. I'd love to help you be healthier in life. And I said this on 4th of July, and it's worth repeating, right? So instead of spending that $9,000 a year on medical prescriptions, pharmaceuticals, all this extra stuff, what if you put that $9,000 in an IUL? What if you put that $9,000 in an annuity and you live to be 100? And then your whole life policy had to pay you out when you live to be 100, your $100,000 or whatever, right? And because you're 100 years old, you can go do 100 things on your bucket list and not have to worry about anybody else in your life, because at that point it's okay to be selfish. So that's the goal, right? Live to be 100, make your life insurance policy pay you out, and then go do your bucket list. Go live abroad. And who says you have to be 100, to be honest? Put the $9,000 in an account and retire when you're 50. It'd be amazing. And you can do it. And you can actually save money on your food bill by eating healthier, growing your own vegetables and everything else. So have a great day. I eventually have to shower. I'm a little sweaty after 45 minutes of working out, but I want to get you that information, tell you about this book, and just tell you like the crazy stuff that went on in my head this morning. So I know it's a long video, but have a fabulous weekend. I'll talk to you later. And if anybody needs anything, message me or shoot me a text message or find me on LinkedIn. Bye.